Going to Bilbao on a cruise? Don't want to book an excursion but want to explore independently? Well, that's what we did. So come along as we show you the sights and how to get into Bilbao from where your cruise ship is docked. We'll share some hints and tips such as toilet locations, the cost of drinks, finding some free things to do and how the city feels as a tourist. Stick around and you might just learn something to make your visit even better. Getting to Bilbao from your cruise terminal. As you exit the port terminal, there is a tourist information desk giving you a free map of the city and map of the tram system. The staff here were very helpful. We caught a complimentary shuttle from here to Getxo and were dropped off outside the tram station. Inside the station, staff were on hand to help us use the machines to purchase a ticket into Bilbao. The machines have a button to translate instructions into English and they accept cash or card. This is the cost of a single ticket into Bilbao for one person. The trams run every few minutes and it takes approximately 30 minutes to get into the city centre. The trams were very full and it was hard to get a seat, so just bear that in mind. The Old Town has some wonderful cobbled streets to explore. The free city map showed us the pink section is the Old Town area. If you exit the metro at this stop, you will be in the heart of the Old Town. With elegant architecture, there is an array of interesting buildings to poke around. A stop at a local cafe for a fresh orange juice and coffee came to just €5 for both items. Amazing value, we thought. We didn't find many public toilets in this area though, so we had to use the toilets in the bar. The Old Town features many of the oldest buildings in the city. Most of the Old Town is a pedestrian zone during the day. There is a large selection of independent shops, bars and restaurants in this area, and we spent at least an hour just poking around looking at the produce on offer here. Restaurant prices seemed very reasonable for a city and it wasn't too busy or hectic. Filling up your water bottles is easy and very pretty. Bilbao Cathedral is in the Old Town district. The temple was originally built between the 14th and 15th centuries as the city's main parish church, and as such it is one of the oldest buildings in Bilbao. In 2015 it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, together with several other buildings along this route. There is a charge of €8 to visit, so we decided just to take a look at it from the outside, which was interesting enough. Ribera Market. The current building was constructed in 1929. Spanning more than 10,000 square metres, it houses around 180 businesses distributed according to their type, and it has 3 floors. This was definitely the place where the locals hang out. Full of authentic Basque produce, it was interesting and a feast for the senses. It's a great place to come to enjoy some tapas, with the top floor dedicated to a wonderful food court. And let's not forget the much needed toilets that were free to use here. We spent an hour enjoying what was on offer. The theatre is a very beautiful building inspired by the Paris Opera, and it was opened in 1890. There is an amazing Art Deco Bandstand that has a cafe located beneath it. Unfortunately, this wasn't open when we visited. The river runs through Bilbao and it is pleasant to wander along the riverside, taking in the stunning views and various bridges. A great free activity. Now, you've probably seen this museum before in the movies. It's the one with those wild twisting shapes that look like they're straight out of a sci-fi film. But what's the deal with this place? Well, let's have a look. Now, check the internet for entrance prices as it does vary. We paid €12 each when we visited, but the second floor was closed on the day we went. There was also a long queue to store your coat and backpack, which was free, and the toilets were also very popular in here too. So, the Guggenheim Bilbao opened its doors in 1997. Before this museum popped up, Bilbao was more of an industrial port town, known for shipbuilding and steel. Not exactly a cultural hotspot, right? But the Guggenheim totally changed that. In fact, people call it the Bilbao effect because it brought in tons of tourists and basically transformed the entire city's vibe. Bilbao went from gritty to glamorous in a matter of years. Now, let's talk about the design. The genius behind this futuristic structure is the architect Frank Gehry, and he went all out on this one. Gehry designed the museum to look like a ship, a nod to Bilbao's industrial history. The building is made up of these shiny titanium panels that curve and twist almost like they're dancing in the wind. Depending on the light, it can look silver, blue, even golden at times. The building is constantly changing. Inside, the museum is very impressive. It's got huge galleries with incredible contemporary art from some of the world's top artists. And of course, one of the most famous pieces here is Puppy, which is outside and is the giant flower-covered dog sculpture. It's a massive dog just chilling outside the entrance. Super Instagrammable, by the way. So if you're planning a trip to Bilbao, the Guggenheim Museum is definitely worth the stop. Even if you're not a huge art buff, it is just one of those places that does make you go, wow. A quick stroll around Bilbao's city centre. It's a mix of stylish shops, cosy cafes and some stunning architecture. Trust me, this place has vibes. All the high street shops you would recognise are here, plus more. There are some lovely green areas and some stunning architectural buildings. It doesn't feel as touristy and busy as some cities. We almost felt like locals even though we were clutching a map.
So we've come to the Azkuna Zentroa to see what this is about, some sort of cultural centre. I don't know if they're putting performances on or anything, or even if there's anything for us to see. So let's go and have a look and see what they've done with the space. I think they've transformed an old building into something more contemporary and functional. So let's give that a go.
So inside here there's a tourist information area, and we went in and we spoke to Esty, who gave us a really great explanation about the building, its former use, what it's used for now, the places you can go and see whilst you're here. So if you are coming here, go in and have a chat with them because they will tell you everything you need to know about visiting this centre. And there looks quite a bit that you can do here, so we're going to go and explore now.
Yeah, a few expeditions. It was designed by Philippe Stark and opened in 2010. There's some facts. Right.
Caminando por las calles vibrantes, museos de arte llenos de color. Bilbao brilla como un diamante, disfruto cada rincón sin temor. Pinturas y esculturas me llaman.
Well, that was interesting, but I'm glad it was free. We can afford to waste our time on things like that. Apparently it was all about sunlight and trapped light.
Okay.
And the tree was made of coal, and that's trapped sunlight in a way.
Right. I thought it was much more Twin Peaks.
Oh gosh, it was definitely Twin Peaks with the vocals
definitely.
and the soundtrack.
Everything about it screamed Twin Peaks to me.
It did.
I was expecting
the black and white. It was the White Room.
I was expecting Carl McLachlan to like jump out.
Yeah, the White Lodge. It just needed some red curtains.
Laura Palmer in the distance. Watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Twin Peaks, highly recommended by Travelling Light.
Yes. The Azkuna Zentroa is a society and contemporary culture centre that is free to enter and explore. It is based in the city's old wine and oil warehouse. It was renovated in 2010 and the building is 110 years old. There are 7 floors, including a swimming pool that you can see from beneath, a library, a cinema, a cafe, a restaurant, exhibition halls, and of course the much needed toilet. The funicular was something that we didn't get a chance to do, but we really would like to come and have a look at this if we get to Bilbao next time. For just €4.30 you can get a round trip to the top for magnificent views of the city and the surrounding countryside. I've seen other vloggers who have done this trip and it does look amazing. It's definitely something we want to try next time. I've put the link in the description below if you'd like to have a look at the website for further details.
So that's the end of our time in Bilbao. There's still lots to go and see, isn't there?
Oh, I definitely want to come back here again. I really love this city. It's great. If you haven't been, come. It was unexpectedly great for me. There's so much to do, so much to see, and we haven't explored half of it.
So much to eat.
Yeah, food is fabulous. The cafe culture's great. There's loads of great architecture, museums.
And it's a lot more chilled than Barcelona, isn't it?
Yeah.
We found it's a lot more relaxed, although it's a city centre and it's quite busy. It's a very relaxed atmosphere here. Most enjoyable.
Yes.
We've had a great time.
Actually, we said, didn't we? We've recently been to Hamburg, and if you haven't seen our Hamburg vlog, check that out over on our channel now. But we were comparing both cities, and I think Bilbao wins it for me.
I still like Hamburg.
Perhaps we'll have to go back to both at one point and see which one does it. But for me, Bilbao is the winner.
I'd need to revisit both places again.
But if you've enjoyed coming along with us, please consider subscribing, tick the like button, because we do lots of this sort of stuff, and hopefully it helps you plan your trips to different cities around the world.